Guys, today I'm going to show you a couple of charts that are going to blow your mind. Also, we are going to talk about Bitcoin, of course, on shorter time frames. I'm going to give you a big trading opportunity, and we are talking about some altcoins. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Cristiano, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. Guys, with that said, let's jump straight into Bitcoin first on the shorter time frames here. And since yesterday, not much has happened actually. We are still very much struggling with the orange box here. You can see that we've been rejected so many times here off of the 4 hourly candles of the orange box. So this is of course a level we will need to break through. Next level of resistance, $59,023. But yesterday I talked about the shorter time frames a lot. Let's talk a little bit more about the longer time frames. On the longer time frames, this is the daily, you still have this formation I talked about yesterday. You can see that this orange line here is still proving to be very significant resistance, because since yesterday we've had another candle here and we are not yet breaking through this. If we break through the orange line, then we got the red line all the way up here as well. So this is still a cluster of resistance. But if we zoom out, and by the way, we also have this one. This is also on the daily time frame. So if you're expecting us to go down here, this is going to be a level of support, currently sitting at 55,800 approximately. But let's zoom out a little bit and let's talk about the longer time frames, because yes, these are the daily time frames. But if we zoom out even more, and a lot of people are asking me, why am I still pretty confident that we are going to see, a rally towards the end of this year, and definitely during the next couple of weeks and months? Well, as I've always said, granted the traditional markets are not going to have a meltdown, what we're seeing right now is this cycle just taking a little bit longer than what we are used to. So what you can see here is the Bitcoin days since halving and the price appreciation since then. So what you have is the first halving first. This is the blue line. So during the first halving, you can see that from the halving to the peak of the market, it took us approximately, 330 days or so. So you can just follow this all the way up here. So the first halving took about 330 days. So this is the blue line. The halving after that, so the cycle after that, basically, this is the red line. And what you can see here on the red line is that this halving took place significantly, later than the first peak, because this peak was right here. And if we follow this, let's just do this. This was about 390, between 360 and 390 days. So this was the peak of the second halving. What we have also is the third halving, which is the orange line right here. This also took significantly more time to reach the previous all-time, or to reach the all-time high. And no, sorry, not all-time high, but to reach the peak of the cycle. And what you can see here is that if we follow this down, it took about 540 days. Okay, so to reach that massive cycle top took 540 days approximately from the halving. So right now we are in the purple line. This is the fourth cycle. And what you can see is that the first peak took place here, second peak here, third peak. And if this pattern continues like this, well, then we can expect the peak of this market to actually be in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, right? Because you can see that the peaks are becoming later and later during the cycle here. Another thing to pay attention to is if you think that we have already had the peak of the market, that goes against the structure we've been seeing here previously. Because if you believe that this was the peak of the market, or this was the peak of the market, well, that would mean that we don't really have lengthening cycles like we've seen here previously, because the peaks should be somewhere around here, just like we've been talking about. So yeah, that is one chart I wanted to show you. The other chart I wanted to show you is actually the Bitcoin versus gold chart. And this is comparing the Bitcoin of 2020 and 2021 to gold during the 1970s. Now, why should you compare gold during a longer time period? Because this is from the 70s to 73 up until 79, while Bitcoin is just, we're comparing it just a couple of months here. Well, gold has been around for thousands of years. Bitcoin has not. So the similarities are as follows. You can see that on the RSI, you can see that we have this downward sloping trend line, which we have broken out of, and we got support of this trend line right here. And right now it seems like we are in a similar pattern as we saw in gold, because in gold you saw something similar. You saw us go down here in the RSI. You had this thing right here before a major bull, pump here for gold in the 1970s. Also on the stock RSI, things are looking pretty similar for us to, shoot up here in Bitcoin. Also on the price action, you can see this trend line right here in the price action. We, came above it, or we broke above it. We got back down, supported right here, back tested this trend line, just like you saw with gold, went above it, back tested this trend line, and broke the previous swing high here on gold, went up, tested this trend line. So same thing here, broke above the previous high here, hit this Fibonacci level, went down, retested this trend line. And now are we going to see in Bitcoin the same kind of thing you saw in gold right here? Also, another thing is that the gold market cap in the 70s was at the same, market cap as gold is right now, or Bitcoin is right now. So same market cap, are we going to see the same kind of price action? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. For Ethereum, we are very close to our previous all-time high. And if I go to the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, this should probably look pretty good. And what you can see here is that the trend I have, or the trade I've been talking about for so long, and I've been talking about us breaking above this massive resistance here for Ethereum on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, and how we are going to most likely outperform Bitcoin heavily on Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is broken right now. Gas costs are absolutely insane. But what I've been saying is that I am hoping that the bullish momentum leading into Ethereum 2.0 getting released can be enough for us to break through this level. And how when Ethereum 2.0 is actually deployed, which we don't really have a date for yet, that could be enough for us to reach the same level on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart you saw here in 2018. You can see that we haven't broken above this since 2018 on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. So this is massive, guys. Ethereum is doing really well right now. And I believe that Ethereum is at some point during this cycle outperform Bitcoin by 50%. So meaning whatever Bitcoin does, Ethereum is going to do 50% better at least. So again, this is a long-term trade. We don't know the exact dates for this, but this is just a long-term trade, which I've been telling you all about for so long already. So this is going to be interesting to pay attention to. Another thing is Matic. So on Matic, you can see that we are right on the edge of this massive triangle here, this pennant formation. And if we break through this level, well, things are about to get really interesting for Matic here, I believe. So this is another trading opportunity. This is just a reminder because I talked about this trade during the last two videos as well, trying to give you the heads up. A couple of different heads up as well is talking about some small altcoins I am watching myself. So Eartha, this is a project I am invested in. So this is also an NFT land metaverse. And what I like about this one is that it is actually, looking like the actual Earth here, hence the name Eartha or Eartha. It's based on the Binance Smart Chain, and you can be a landowner. You got the features right here. Develop your plots to increase their value, extract and sell plot resources to the market. This is exactly this kind of game like I love. I love strategy games. And yeah, you can do a lot of things here. And this is going to be really, really interesting to see develop. Another thing I noticed is that this project is followed by Altcoin Daily, actually. So maybe Altcoin Daily are going to talk about this project. I don't know. Another project I am watching myself is also Operon Origins. Now this is, if you go down here, this is a project that is actually invested by Bluezilla. So of course, Bluezilla projects tends to do very well. I don't think this is incubated by Bluezilla, but they are an investor. So, Bluezilla probably going to do pretty well with this project here. But it is an NFT, combat trade, card trading game. And you got the details. You can still get into the IDOs. They are taking place on GameZone and the BSC pad during tomorrow. So you still have time to get in if you want to do that. So these are two projects I'm investing in myself and I am watching. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.